Influencing the electors is one thing that's illegal, but when it comes down to deceiving, tricking, conning, misleading electors, then you've taken it to the next level. I mean, rigging votes in elections is now what the anonymous official channel is looking at. Rigging of votes and elections. That's what they're looking at with Biden now. Half his followers are fake and spam, right? What I want to know is, why mysteriously did, in 1953, 1954, 1955, why did a solid Liberal area vote Labour in, and Labour got control of a council exactly for a 3-year period, where they managed to get houses built on a Liberal emblem, which is the round wood warrior's tomb, which is liberty shaped, and then mysteriously the council goes back into solid Liberal again once the deed is done. And behind it all is the story of Sam Copley, who disappears to Australia, comes back with loads of money, buys all of Huddersfield, gives it over to this Huddersfield Corporation, which is an act enacted specifically by King George and the peerage to give the land to the council, a.k.a. His Majesty's Government Local Council, a.k.a. King George. You know, so the Ramsdens, the Whig family, the Cromwell-supporting family, the Liberal family don't have it anymore, even though the area continues to carry on voting Liberal. But for the deed to be done, it needs to swing over to Labour, somehow, likely rigged voting. And then what gets me is now we've got some houses popping up, being built, planning application going in the Almonbury area, Almonbury-Dalton area. It's actually Fenny Bridge, but I'm pretty certain it falls within Almonbury. We'll soon find out. Who is the land owned by? The 10th Earl Dartmouth. The 10th Earl of Dartmouth, right? When we've just had the 233 bus taken over by Transdev and it's been transformed into D1 Darts. Now, if that ain't Dartmouth, D1 Darts, if that ain't for Darts for Dartmouth, you know, God save, you know, I don't know what is. Plus loads of weird, freaky caricatures appearing painted on the bus. Really eerie, spooky ones, right? And the anonymous official channel has given evidence. If you go on the anonymous official channel and check out that video that's got a picture of Zuckerberg on it, Mark Zuckerberg, right? That literally everything, when you trace it and find out who owns the shares of everything in the supermarket, all the supermarket brands, companies, everything, it's all controlled by the peerage. Now, the thing is that how did Dartmouth get to come buy that land? How long has Dartmouth had that land for? Because we've got a Savile estate, which is up 4-0, and one of the old cottages that I actually showed interest in and liked shortly after I started looking at it magically got sold to an Asian guy, and they knocked it down, even though it was reuse of existing buildings. It didn't exist anymore, and that was one of the old cottages on Savile estate. Similar treatment, and then, you know, they got stopped apparently. Exact same thing as what happened to Castle Hill Pub, but it happened at on Fontaine Road at Savile Estate. And then we've got Beaumont Estate, the Beaumonts, that's French, Beaumont, and Seville. They're both from, they retain the estates all the way from the Norman Conquest. Now, our area, funnily enough, believe it or not, even though there was that fort at Castle Hill, quite a lot of the land around our area was this Alric, son of Eric. It was Ulrich, son of Eric or something, right? And he kept the land from before the Norman conquest, and he got a knight's he got a knight's lease on land. So he managed to hold quite a lot of the land all the way through till after the conquest. And then I think a lot of it got sold off, and that's how that John Wood ended up with some of the land and various other people. And then we get, you see, the Ramsdens were over North Yorkshire, North East Yorkshire, towards going more towards Pontefract Hull way, right? They had land Beaumonts, but he married into this family over here, and then it became Beaumont land. But Viscount Beaumont was a Whig anyway. And that's when our area became Liberal, from Ramsden being a Whig. Now, I'm not sure exactly what happened about the fort, because I'm not sure how far Saville estate extended and how far the Beaumont estate extended, whether that included Mirfield or not, and that Mirfield Castle, because they had that fort at Mirfield Castle. So there's some, there's some strange things going on there with that under the Normans, and there was a fort at Castle Hill, wasn't there? So I'm not, but that Alric held quite a lot of land, so that's sort of why it's all sort of separate. And how Ramsden came to have it is because it wasn't all solidly Beaumont and all solidly Saville. It was because of that Ulrich guy who had it from before the conquest, and that's why we've got this retain this bit of area that was sort of separate, and then how it ended up ultimately becoming Liberal. And then we had a civil war as well. Always seems to be wars. There's civil war, and then we've got, the actual war kicked off as well when it's been excavated at our area, which is kind of even more ridiculous. There's something going on. It's clearly obvious look at the voting. Oh, it's solid Liberal. Oh, it's suddenly gone to Labour for 3 years. Then it goes back again. Or like no overall control. And then solid Liberals. Solid Liberal, 3 years of Labour, bang. That's when they get that thing built on there. And it had been, the whole reason it was taken off, the Ramsdens, supposedly giving it to, you can't give it to the people unless you sort of give them all their own allotment of land and say that you own that land. So you're not giving it to anyone. The council is hmgovernment.co.uk, kirkleyscouncil.co.uk. It was the West Riding Council. It's His Majesty's Government Local Council. Copley bought it off Ramsden, and they enacted an enactment for local improvement that really was His Majesty's Government. And part of that included doing the tram station for Waterloo, which it wasn't even called Waterloo. They made that name up when they created the tram station and put a cinema there, called it the Waterloo. They made that name up. It wasn't even called Waterloo, it was Dalton. So, and there was that Dives house, but Dives was the name of the guy who lived in one of the old cottages there. So, the whole reason that the area did get built up is because of the Imperial Chemical Industry, ICI, being expanded. Imperial Chemicals. Oh, Copley makes mysterious money in Australia, comes back, hands it over to corporation, doesn't make any profit on it, gets paid equal, hands it over to King George.